Thank God for another day. Changing. Change is always good. You know, change ain't nothing wrong with it. Some people like to change. Some people like to stay the same. But I found out in my life, life is pretty much about making choices and making decisions and changing for the best. Your whole life is about moving forward. Some people like to move forward. Some people like to keep moving backwards. I don't know about anybody else, but I love a change because you change for the best. And we was talking about that in the other video when it's time for you to move on. And I was looking at one of those Nike commercials, Just Do It, on LeBron James, and LeBron James was showing so many different clips saying, should I keep making mistakes, or what do you want me to do? Did I make the right decision? And he kept going back and forth, back and forth. Do I have to listen to my friends and what my friends say? It don't matter really what nobody say, because it's up to you to make that change. And it's up to you to follow God and move when God say move, because a change is a good thing. And a lot of times when you change, people don't understand it. And people always want to dictate to you and tell you what to do, how they see your life in their eyes. But you got to quit getting caught up in what people say and start listening to God and moving forward, because change is good. And you know, LeBron, I was looking at the commercial, and I like that commercial because at the end he just said, just do it. You know, and I look at that even with his change from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So many people talk bad about him. They burnt his jersey, but didn't really look at the good that LeBron did when he was there. And I hate when people always, the media and stuff, always criticizing people. You know, he should have never left, but that man stayed there 7 years. And you know, 7 is the number of completion. And I looked at it like this: that boy, if he would have kept staying there, he didn't have too much help in Cleveland. And he was he was getting wore out, just like we do in our life. And as soon as he changed to try to see the best, people down him. You can look on the news, you saw him burning LeBron James' jersey up, and like the man haven't done nothing good for the team. He said, I don't even care about the money. I would take a pay cut. He left behind, I believe, $30 million to go be with a team, which is the Miami Heat, that he seems like he would have a lot more help with. That way the burden wouldn't just be on his back. Now he got Chris Bosh. Now he got Dwayne Wade, you know, himself, and so many others that he got help now because he's not worried about the money. He want to win a championship. See, that shows me something right there. When you change, people don't like it. Just like I was talking about when you change to go to a different church and you know God moves you, because sometimes people, you are only in the things that you are doing for a season. But we get caught up thinking that the season is the lifetime because we caught up in a relationship with people. I keep saying this, it ain't about people. And when you are changing, it's for the best, because when you don't change, you will stay and be miserable somewhere else. And misery love company, because people that don't want to change, they don't want to see nobody else change. They want everybody to stay stuck in their ways and just stay where they are and be content with just being where they are. No. That's why when you hear me talk about being content, it don't mean you're going to always stay in that situation. God needs to know we can be content with the things that we already have before he blesses us. He want to know, can we be content? Can we still praise him and serve him with the things we already have if we don't never get blessed ever again? Like Paul was saying, I've learned how to be content. Yeah. And when you look at that, I tie content in with being in that stage to God blesses you. And when God blesses you, you got to move. So that's why I say changing is good. Life is all about making life choices. And some people going to like you, some people going to hate you. It seems like most of the time people going to hate you, because remember what Paul also said too. Every time that I try to do good, evil is always present. Evil is always there. You notice when somebody is doing good all the time, but if they fall down, people don't never talk about the good they do. They want to talk about the bad because they love to talk about mess. That's what I say, the media and the press, they love mess. That's their job. But nobody remembers the good that a person does. That's why God said you don't judge a man by stuff you see and things. You judge a man by their heart. You look at a man's heart, not judge. You look at the man's heart. You look at a woman's heart. And choices have to be made in life. Whether you on your 9-to-5 job, you might be thinking about, should you be going to another job? Whether you in a relationship, but you know with somebody you ain't even supposed to be. A lot of times God give us so many signs and we miss it because we be caught up on, it's not my time. And you know, I'm in this situation. I'm supposed to be here. I done got caught up. I done gained a relationship with these people. Oh man, I can't just leave. I'm gonna tell you, it is hard to leave. But once you leave, you will rejoice and be glad that you left. Yeah, because when you stay in a situation, when God telling you to move and you are staying there, you will never be happy. You will always stay confused. Like myself, I know about that. Yeah, you can get confused real easy. And one thing about God, God is not the author of confusion. Oh yeah. We confuse ourselves half of the time. Because when we are planted somewhere, we think we're supposed to be there for a lifetime. I tie that in with moving to different churches. Yeah. Sometimes a musician only have to be at that church for a season. Sometimes a pastor is only at that church for a season. Because God will call you to do greater works. And you don't know where God is going to place you at. I use myself for an example. I was going to move to Orlando, Florida. I never thought I was going to be winding up in Forney where I am and been for almost 6 years now. Didn't even see that in my plan. But when God do something, when God shows you something, you don't have no choice but to move with it. I've been where I am for 6 years now and never saw it nowhere in the making. Because I can't see what God has in his eyes. But all I can do is follow him and be obedient. Just like the Bible say, obedience is better than sacrifice. Yeah. I can sacrifice a lot of things, but if I'm not being obedient toward what I'm sacrificing, oh, what am I doing? So I'd rather be obedient and follow God. I might sacrifice with the wrong motive, but if I be obedient to God and keep moving in God, I can't help but to go higher and higher. So let's remember, change is a good thing. Life is all about making choices. I got to say that again. And you can't be worried about what people say. Because first of all, it's not about people. It's not about your mama. It's not about your daddy. It's not about your grandma. It ain't even about your pastor. It's about your personal one-on-one relationship with God. And you will miss it by not moving forward. So we tie that in with everything in life. Whether you're on a 9-to-5 job, whether you're trying to be a better husband, a better wife, a better child, a better Sunday school teacher, whatever it is, you can be the best at what you can be if you keep God first and change. Don't stay stuck in your ways. Don't think change is a bad thing, because there's too many people stuck in tradition. They stuck on what they want to do because they think their way is the only way. Let me say this, just because you've been doing something for so long and so many years don't necessarily mean that it's right. You can be doing things for so long, and it could be wrong. So you look at your life and look back over your life. How many times we hear people say, if I could just do it all over again? Well, you can't do it all over again. You can't change the past, but you can start from right now and work toward the future. But you don't have no future without God. So be blessed, and remember, when you change, quit worrying about people. Like the Nike commercial say, just do it. I like that, LeBron James. Big shout out to LeBron James. I ain't mad at him for leaving. Oh yeah, there's people I always wanna, and I hate that when the owner and everybody was talking so bad about that man. That's what I like. It was 7 years. When you look in the Bible, the sevens, the completion. That's the number of completion. Though he stayed there 7 years and poured his heart out, he got beat up on that court so many times. But as soon as he decided to make a change, people talk bad about him. Let's tie that in with our own life. How many of us changed and people didn't like it? They talk bad about us. When you left a certain job, somebody cussed you out. When you left a certain church, people didn't want to hear from you no more. People was mad at you for leaving. When you dropped that boyfriend and girlfriend that you knew that wasn't right for you, and you started moving forward, they didn't like you when you changed. And then after a while, they'll be begging for you to come back because you changed for the best. Sometimes you got to go back and tell that old girlfriend and that old boyfriend, thank you. Because if I had not went through you, I wouldn't have got my blessing where I am now. Now I have my wife. Now I have my husband. So thank God for changing. Because when you are changing for yourself, that's a good thing. Because we already know what staying the same is. You do the same thing, you get the same results. So when you change, you get different results. Unless you're changing with the same person that don't want to change. Somebody didn't catch that. Be blessed.